Welcome to the Sacred Emergence Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Wong, and I'm so thrilled that you're here. This is a place where you'll be guided to living your most aligned life so that your truest, most radiant self can emerge. We'll be jamming on topics ranging from spirituality, entrepreneurship, to wellness and lifestyle design, and everything in between that can support you to grow, evolve, and shine, all the while not taking ourselves too seriously. So if you're ready to step into your leadership, break through limiting beliefs, own all of who you are, and expand in abundance, grab yourself your faith cup of tea and let's dive in. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Sacred Emergence. It's Michelle Wong here, and I am so excited to introduce to you our beautiful guest today, Jamie Cabaccang, of a product design lead at Pinterest. I mean, your titles are amazing, Jamie. You're also the founder of Techies and Wellness, and you are a Reiki master.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm just so excited to dive deeper today and talk to you about your journey and just like your wealth of knowledge and experience and your story.
Me too. It's an honor to be a part of your podcast. This is the first podcast that I've ever been on. So
such an honor. Thank you. Thank you.
It's an honor to be a part of yours. So thank you.
Oh, amazing. Thank you. Yeah. So you and I met actually through Ashley. Ashley and I met at a meetup event that I was hosting, and she mentioned you and how you were the founders of Techie and Wellness. And that to me, I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then you and I connected just through like a virtual meet and greet. And I was like, I love her. She has such amazing energy.
I felt like I knew you already. Yes.
I know. And then one thing led to another. I attended the Techies and Wellness retreat, and that was like divine order right there because
I was going to say it totally was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told you about it like months before, and then you weren't able to come because of your leg.
Yeah.
And then what was it, like the day before the actual retreat, I had someone who could not make it anymore due to a death in the family, and it just so happened that you were able to come.
I know.
Yeah.
And like the roommate who was assigned to the girl who couldn't make it, like she's such a close friend of mine that I was like, oh my God, it's just divine. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then here we are. So let's start back, because like Techies and Wellness was something that you created just from your own journey and your own experience through, like, I would say, your wellness and your health journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I have been in tech for over 10 years at that time. I was at Microsoft, and I was creative director of the one of the incubation teams there, developing new technologies. And during that time, I was working a lot, and I was diagnosed with an illness. And I'm like, wait, great, just another thing to add to the list of things that I need to be responsible for and do. And so that was when I want to say I had my awakening. My doctor told me when I was diagnosed that she lost a lot of family members to this illness. I don't know why I'm getting all emotional right now, but because I could usually tell this story. I've told this story many times. You've heard me before, but and she so that was at that point I was like, wow, what do I have? Like it scared me, and but I'm thankful for it, because for 3 months I grieved my life, and it allowed me to really like take a deeper look at my priorities in life and where I'm spending my time. And I questioned everything. At that point, I questioned my career. I questioned, am I just in the right place? Am I being surrounded by the right people? Am I spending my time wisely? And so since then, I found a new doctor who was able to give me hope, because I was supposed to be on chemotherapy and steroids for the rest of my life. And this other doctor that I found, he um, opened my eyes to the whole world of homeopathy and energy. And so that's where I got really fascinated by energy, because I started taking homeopathic remedies, and within less than a month, all my symptoms were gone, and I was just living normally. And I'm like, wow, if that's the only thing that changed, and the mindset that I wasn't going to die, because when you have the mindset like I'm going to die, then like you're going to die. Like I was dying, like I was physically dying, emotionally dying, spiritually dying. And when I finally found the support that gave me a new perspective, to me, that was when I started this whole journey of finding new ways to heal myself naturally. Um, and through that journey, I got really fascinated by energy, and I went and I saw a few energy healers, and did breath work and sound healing, and just found all these amazing, like my whole world has changed once being introduced to these things. And me being in tech, and there's my, like, through our line of work, it's all about logic and research and data, and you have to prove things. And I mean, to me, it's like, it's the experience that is my proof, is the experience of what I was going through. And just the transformation, life changing. And so to me, I'm like, how come not a lot of people know about this stuff? And and it's cheaper. It's like, my remedies are like $6 for a whole month, compared to whatever medicate, I would be paying for the cost of steroids and chemotherapy. So anyhow,
Well, that would be like the medical system is like a totally separate conversation. But like,
right. Yeah.
I just with homeopathic medicine, and I'm just so glad that you found it, because it seems like it was like the perfect path for you in your healing journey.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. I'm so grateful too, because I don't know where I would be right now. I probably would have been like, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. So I'm grateful that the timing was perfect for me, and that I actually went through this experience, because had I not had this experience, it would not have led me to where I'm at today. And so through this journey, it's inspired me. Well, I became certified as a Reiki master, and I did that to heal myself, because you can heal yourself through Reiki. And I was like, well, if I'm going to have this illness for the rest of my life, I might as well find ways to just heal my own self, because it can get pretty expensive. And so I went and I got certified. And as people found out that I was certified in Reiki, they were like, can you give me Reiki? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm just like a normal person. But which I'm not. I'm not normal.
You're like magic.
But I'm just an average person. I don't know. But anyway, I ended up renting out a spot for about a month, and brought people in. And then I realized that I was tapping into gifts that I never knew that I had. And so that's when I was like, wow, there's something here. I'm seeing people go through their own transformations, and I'm seeing people, like, I'm here, I'm able to help people. Like, wow, like this, it was really eye-opening to realize when, like, I felt like, wow, like it was meant to be, and I'm tapping into like these gifts that I have, and it felt like really meaningful work for me. Now I give Reiki on Saturdays, and at the AIM Healing Center in Bellevue, and I'm booked out like a month and a half to 2 months in advance. And as a manager and mentor in tech for so many years, you hear a lot of stories, the struggles of working in tech and having to put on that mask, um, showing up to work as, just not authentically. And then as I became a Reiki practitioner, you hear even deeper stories, stories that go beyond the surface level and just into the ocean. You hear an ocean of the traumas, people going through anxiety, depression, certain illnesses, like all these things, dealing with grief. And I realized like every person that came in had a story, and like they just went so deep, and a lot of it is childhood trauma that we deal with, and then they become triggers as an adult. And so I hearing the deeper stories, and me being in the tech industry as well as now in the holistic wellness community, um, I hear stories of like from the holistic wellness community, like different practitioners. And one woman told me she needed to find another job at the coffee shop because she needed to feed her family. And I was like, wait a minute, how come not a lot of people know about you? I just had an experience with you. And so that's when, at that moment, I was like, wow, these people need these people. So can we blend the two? Can we merge the two in some way? And so that's where I created Techies and Wellness. And the mission is to bring holistic wellness into the tech community, which is now becoming more of the local community, because I'm finding that, hey, everybody could use this knowledge and information and these experiences. And so we put on events monthly. Currently, we are at Think Space. We outgrew our Bellevue location. We were sold out every time we would have an event. And so now we're at a much larger place, and we put on retreats, which you've been to the last retreat, and those are transformative. Those retreats are not the typical retreat where you would just go and relax and unwind and de-stress. But this is really, we get really, really deep, and you get really uncomfortable. You're very vulnerable. And the beauty is that most of the people who come, they come as strangers. So I tell the women, you just show up, you take off your mask, and this is your place to redefine who you are. You don't need to come with the experiences, the judgments, the labels, the attachments, all those things that don't serve us anymore, or maybe never did serve us. Like, you can let go of those and be who you want to be now. And so there's something really powerful about that, as well as I would say just being able to open up to people who don't know you and have expectations of you. And I know I'm like, it's not easy to just say, hey, everybody, like, let go of your attachments and just come as you are. I set the tone for the retreat, and I create that space to be able to do that. But we really get deep into actually going through the process of letting go of the attachments, letting go of the stories. And those things have been taking up a lot of space and energy, and we just try our best to clear those so that we can make room for more of the things that do serve us, make room for new intentions and bringing in new things that are in more alignment with who we are in this moment. So
oh, I love that. Thank you. And thank you for just, being willing to share and just show up vulnerably. Yeah, I actually think it's a really cool thing to go to a retreat or just being able to share who you are with strangers, because then there's like no prior judgments, right?
yeah.
And that's one of like the beautiful things. Because then, it's like you get to redefine yourself, like you said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And I just like, I've had a Reiki session with you. During the retreat, and I think sometimes during the sound bath events that you host, sometimes you will offer Reiki. And I'm just amazed by like the downloads that you get. Yeah, like you're a channeler of just like whatever guidance, like divine wisdom that comes through. Because I remember when I had the session with you, it was like at the end of the year. And like what was funny was that when I was on the table, um, once like I lay down on the massage table,
Mhm.
like I had that moment of like, oh my God, you just got to trust and surrender, Michelle. Like that was a thought that came through for me. And I literally felt like the earth, like the soil of the earth holds me.
Mhm.
And then when you placed your arm just like, on my, like around my neck / shoulder area, I think
Uh-huh.
that was when I had that image. And then after like the debrief, you mentioned like, for me, it was important to trust and surrender. I was like, of course. So yeah.
It's powerful, powerful work, especially Reiki. I mean, it just opens up all the channels, and I think because I do it so much, but that is a side of me that I don't typically share, is being able to receive these messages from source, from the universe. It's something that I don't really open up about, um, which is with my intuition. And it's something that I think I may have always had. It's just a um, it took a experience for me to awaken that and shake things up and really start tapping into my gifts. I say once you found me, um, you are ready. You are ready for something to shift in your life. And I never consider myself a coach. That's not what there's many amazing coaches out there, and people need coaches. I have many coaches myself. Um, but for me, it's like I drop in and out of people's lives. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like you come to me and I help crack open whatever that was that's been stuck and within you, and you've forgotten about it, and I bring it to the surface. I'm like, well, here's the thing that you've been dealing with. Um, this needs healing. You need to complete the emotion around that. You stuffed that emotion, and it just needs to process because it's stuck. And so my gift is to help individuals tap into their own inner wisdom. I don't ever like to, come give a talk and say, hey, I'm just this wise, amazing being. Like, come be perfect like me. Like, I am far from perfect. Like, I'm the wounded healer. I'm probably the perfect example of a wounded healer. I've gone through so many, so many, like death and rebirth. Like, that's just kind of been my life, story of my life. But I'm one of those people who can, one of my gifts is to help you see that within yourself and what's authentic to you, what's true to you, so that you can start tapping into your own inner wisdom
Mm.
on a much deeper level. And that, like, once you can tap into your own inner wisdom, like, that's when the healing begins. That's when you are looking to your own intelligence, that inner intelligence, that inner voice that will whisper, that you can hear sometimes, that you can feel most times. Like, you just have to sit quietly and give yourself that time and space to be able to do that. Um, and so that's one of the things that I think is very unique to techies and wellness is, and it's not just myself. I work with amazing practitioners, some of the best, and this is the work that we do. It's very meaningful and very deep, and
Mm.
the work could be really profound if you're open and if you're ready to receiving.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, because my work is all about like the inner leader. So, like leading ourselves. And so, what you said about tapping into our own inner wisdom, like the answers are really within us. So, your work is about really, it's like guiding women to go back into themselves, right? And instead of looking outside of themselves, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And like I would say like, yeah, like you hold space, like you facilitate that process, and with your healing modality that you offer. um and I think so many of us need that. We need that permission and the guidance to trust ourselves. um because
Absolutely.
yeah, because like it's so easy to like pay someone money and like tell me what I need to do, tell me what I need to know, and we like give our authority over.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's kind of what we do is we seek that outside validation a lot of times. We seek it outside of ourselves. But what we're really looking for is not outside of ourselves. It's within us. Yeah.
Hmm. So techies, like, because I also come from the tech world,
Yeah.
and like, did you find that before, this journey started for you, like, were you was energy medicine foreign to you? Like, were you open to it at all, or is it just something that you just weren't aware of?
Yeah, I was seeing a naturopath at this time. So I've always been into like natural ways to
Mm.
heal yourself. And the doctor I was working with, she was a naturopath. So yes, I've been open to it. But the thing that I have not didn't really know much about was energy work
Mm.
and intuition. And so like, yeah, of course, like if you asked me like 2.5 years ago about Reiki or energy and all that stuff, I would be like, well, that's just like some woo woo stuff, that's like, it's like I'm far from that. Like I don't understand it. It's just I was not educated about it. I didn't know much about it. I wasn't exposed to it. Like there was no reason for me to be exposed to it at that time. That I like there's nobody around me that was experiencing that stuff, or at least they didn't share that with me. And so this going through my life journey has brought me to this whole new world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I feel like because you're still in the tech world and you have like, so you're a bridge, I feel like it's more comfortable for people to come to like your events and your work because like you speak a common language, versus someone who was never in corporate world per se and they're leading with the stuff. It's almost like they just stepped into a different dimension. So that's such a gift that you hold that bridge because you're in both worlds.
Yeah, thank you for seeing that. Um, it could be very intimidating. I think my first Reiki experience, I walked into a crystal shop, which I admire crystals. I love crystals, but I didn't really know much about them. I just bought them because I thought they looked nice.
Yeah, totally.
And then I had Reiki there, but you have to walk through the crystal shop. But it could get pretty intimidating. And so with techies and wellness, we are super practical. And you're right. It's because I could speak the language of techies, and because I still am a techie. And if people ask me like, why are you still working in tech? Like, why don't you
Yeah.
just like quit your job and like do techies and wellness full time? But to me, it's like, well, for one, I love Pinterest. I love the culture. I love like the company. I love what we're doing, and they align with my goals and my aspirations. We're just in total alignment. So I'm enjoying that. But I also think that if I'm here talking about wellness and mindfulness, um, I want to be the example of being able to work. And I'm a mother and I'm a wife. So I want to be able to show that, hey, you can work and at the same time you can practice mindfulness. And when you do these things, they allow you to be the most innovative and creative self. And that's, to me, that's what I'm doing. I don't just say, hey, go meditate like for like, 20 hours a day and quit your job and life's going to be super amazing. It's like, no, like, we'll keep it real. Again, I'm practical and I'm real. It's like, gotta work, love my work. I feel like all like the energy, like all this stuff, my whole transformation has actually led me to a company that I really love and enjoy. And I enjoy the work that I do and the people. And so, and they're open to me bringing sound healing and guided meditation, into the workplace. And so they also support what I do. But I believe like you can work, and that's the whole reason why we do this work, is so that it can help you align to the right, your career, and where, something that aligns more with your values, and that makes you feel alive. And it's not like, you wake up and you just feel like, oh, I have to go to my job.
Right. Yeah. I think it's so beautiful that you actually have a supportive team that really, like, your work is welcomed. Like, yeah, let's do a sound bath meditation at Pinterest, and I've seen your posts on Instagram where, like, you're holding the space and people are attending and they love it. I'm like, oh my God, that is so amazing. And I feel like it's because you're willing to share that part of you with, like, you're not hiding that part of you with your bosses and your colleagues. I know for me anymore. Yeah, that takes courage, because I remember when I was in corporate, like, I think Pilates was, it's more mainstream. So people knew I taught Pilates, but anything spiritual, I was shy about sharing it. And it wasn't until, like, at my last job, I was just so burnt out and frustrated. I just remember I went into work one day and just, like, owned who I was. I had face paint on. It was like, and I was not afraid to be seen. And, like, it was so liberating, and people were like, it was a great conversation starter, and there was acceptance. They were curious. There was acceptance. And I was like, I don't know why I was hiding myself,
Yes.
So I just love that you're bringing that to the workplace, and it is accepted. And I feel like the more people are willing to do that, then it's going to change the workplace in and of itself, because people are so burned out and they need a change.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we're here to help them.
Right.
Here to share new tools and new ways to be able to unwind and decrease your stress levels and further align with who you are.
Yeah. And, like, I mean, I would say, like, the more workplaces, like, incorporate, like, mindfulness and make it more practical so it's more approachable for people, I just feel like there's like almost like a pressure for just corporate people to adopt that, so that there's just more options. And so, like, if a person's at a workplace where that's not supported, then maybe it's like, well, I can find another job that does support it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Wellness and mindfulness is becoming a really big thing nowadays, that a lot of people are bringing into their workplace and trying to find, like, what is the right fit for these employees, So there's a lot of different offerings. And I think it depends on the individual, because, like, what may work for one person may not work for another.
Mm-hmm.
Some people love sound baths, and some other people, it causes anxiety. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So when you host these events at your workplace, do most people show up, or do you find that there are some people who are still kind of resistant to it?
Yeah, so there are, I would say, I don't know about resistant. At least they don't open up about that. I think it's more of everybody's busy working, like meetings. It's hard to find, like, an hour to an hour and a half in the calendar. But then you will get the people who are like, nope, I reserved that time and no one's going to book that time. I need this right now. And what we did was I did a survey, because of course in tech you need to show measurable outcomes.
Yeah, I love it.
So we did a survey before the sound healing and guided meditation at Pinterest, and it's just a 20-second survey. What is your stress level? And what's a word to describe how you feel? And then we had the sound healing, we had the guided meditation, which I led, and then at the end, they filled out the same 20-second survey
Mm-hmm.
where, yeah, and you could see like the significant drop in stress levels. You could see the contrast between the words that they were using when they first came in versus the words that they were using after the event. And so it was really effective. And so now my manager wants to bring in, we're going to do another event actually next month. We're going to have Wellness Week. I'm really excited about
So
it.
awesome.
Yeah, so we're going to bring a Techies and Wellness event there
Oh,
again.
amazing. Yeah, I remember when I was still in corporate, like I really wanted to host like a meditation for my coworkers. And so I set it for 30 minutes on the calendar and maybe like 3 people accepted. And then when it came time for the actual like meditation, people were like, I'm so busy, I don't have time. And I was like, okay, well, how about just 15 minutes? You know, like forget 30, how about 15? And they're like, okay. But really like they could only do 10. So like, okay, let's do 10 minutes, like whatever it takes. And like even just the 10 minutes, like there was a huge difference in their own like capacity to feel like they got a recharge, you know, and we're able to go back to work with more clarity.
Absolutely. We did that almost, I don't know if it was weekly or every day at Oracle. That was where I was at before Pinterest. And just 10 minutes and just introducing that to people who've never meditated before and just seeing the effects that they had. And they just look all blissed out after the just 10 minutes. It was just amazing to see that. Same at Microsoft, we did that as well. But yeah,
That's
10 minutes
awesome.
is all you need. I love
Yeah.
that you did.
Yeah. And it's like, honestly, for myself, because like, I guess like spirituality and all that is so close to my heart. Sometimes I'm a little shy sharing it. I'm like, oh, I'm a little resistant. I don't know if people are going to like feel about it. But I was like, when people were so receptive to it, at least for the people who came, I was like, I don't know why it took me so long to offer it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's the word, if you remember at the last retreat, we meditated quite a bit, but I never said the word meditation. It was just, okay, let's go on a journey. Let's go on a journey. And then I guided you guys through the journey. And then on the last day before we left, I was just talking about how we label meditation and how that could be really intimidating and scary for a lot of people. And a lot of people are resistant, or they're like, I can't meditate. Like, I can't silence my mind. I can't do this. I can't do that. But if you remove the label, like the word, meditation, it kind of helps.
That's actually a good point, especially with like some people who might be more religious. Like meditation might, I don't know, like for other traditions, it just might not jive as well. So, yeah, so I love that you, as a designer, you were thinking about your client.
I do that, yeah. So I design products that help change the lives of people and the way that they work. And I've been able to bring that skill of designing experiences into designing wellness experiences. Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, so good, right? It's like approachable.
Every detail, even the swag bag.
Can we talk about your swag bag? Oh my God.
The swag bag.
The best. So like for those of you, so like at the Techies and Wellness Retreat, like there's just so much work that puts into the swag bag, and like what's in those bags are, I don't know what the value is. It's like over $500 or something.
Over 300.
Yeah, it's just so good, like down to the last detail. Like I love the sprays, like the blanket, like everything. I was like, this, like the experience is amazing, but like the swag bag is like worth coming for just to sign up.
I love spoiling people. I just love making things very, very special and sacred. And especially for busy women who take time out of their lives to actually come and be there and invest and honor themselves. And so we're just so grateful. I work with Ashley Brown, and she's our director of community engagement for Techies and Wellness. And she will just reach out to different companies, and now companies are reaching out to us. But we're just so grateful for the generosity of our partners who are willing to donate their items to this lovely group, the retreat. And we had things from the blankets to crystal glass water bottles, and we even had eye masks that it has a little pocket that you could slip a crystal in it. So it'll be near your third eye chakra, that Ashley's mom actually made. But yeah, a lot of thought goes into these wellness bags. So,
and I use it, like I use the eye mask every time I meditate. I use my blanket, like I have it on my couch right now. I use the sprays because I love the smell. And I'm just like, this is so well curated. It's not just junk, you know?
Exactly. It's very, again, going back to like very practical things that people would actually use. Cause I love swag, but I'm trying to Marie Kondo my whole like life and physical space. And so, we just don't need, we're trying to get rid of the clutter. And I think to be able to bring, again, the whole mission is to bring tools into these women's lives. So if we can bring more wellness tools, even as physical tools to actually take away from the retreat, that's a part of the experience. It's really exciting.
Yeah. And also like even the notebook, it was personalized for each individual. I'm like, come on, that's incredible. I was like, wow, like that's really commendable. So
thanks, Michelle.
Yeah, I can just like, yeah, and just like the intention and the passion, like I can feel it, you know, like it's not for you. It's not like, I mean, profit is amazing. There's nothing against profit and revenue, but like your work is like, it's beyond that. So the reach is even deeper.
It's definitely, I think that's so Techies and Wellness, it's built around compassion. I have a full-time job, and that really helps support my side passion. And I can grow Techies and Wellness in a way that is built around compassion and not around hustle. And so it really allows me to focus on the things that truly matter, that are really valuable, that's bringing impact into this world, as opposed to I just need to make a paycheck, you know. And I'm so grateful to be able to do that and be able to have the time and space to be able to pursue my side passion. But I love that you felt that, because that's really important, is to be able to infuse the compassion and the empathy. And this is really not even about making, getting rich off of what I do. It's really all about the compassion and bringing community together and being able to support and uplift each other.
Going back to like corporate and like, you know, when you started on your journey with the energy work and just your healing journey, did you find that like communication with like your bosses and stuff, did you find that you were able to express your needs more? Like, was there a shift, or just so that, you know what I mean? Because it's like, there's a
Yes, absolutely. The conversations are so different. I used to be like a yes person. Like, Jamie, can you do this? Yes, I can do this. Yes, 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 yes. I learned the power of no. And it took me to work with a coach to learn how to say no. And she was very spiritual. But now that I'm tapping into my inner voice, my authentic self, and I'm really tapping into how different situations, different words make me feel, like physically, I'll tap into my body, like how did that make me feel? Because that's where my truth lies. I honor myself more. You know, I'm able to like really know and understand who I am and what's true for me, and to be able to honor that. And so when I honor myself, I'm able to speak from a place of, hey, this is what I need. Like, I'm able to speak from my needs in order to allow me to thrive, because it's like, help me help you, right? So this is what it's going to take in order for me to be successful, for me to feel innovative, for me to feel creative, for me to come to work every day and enjoy it. Like, this is what it's going to take. And of course, they want their employees to be their best selves. And so, well, most managers, I've had other managers who, anyway, that's another podcast. But for the most part, that, and again, like through this journey, it kind of, if you're not in the right place and it's not meeting your needs, that's information for you. That was information for me. So it guided me to, okay, the next team. It guided me in a different direction. I didn't just stay there. And now I feel like I can speak my needs, and not feel bad about it. That's like another thing, is like I always felt bad because I was so responsible for everything and everyone.
Yeah.
And I mean, I put that upon myself though. And so, and I made the choice to take responsibility for myself and what's true for me, and to not be afraid to speak that. And it's amazing the responses that you get after that, because you're afraid of rejection. Like there's this like, oh, if I speak up, like I'm gonna, especially as a young minority woman in tech, and as a leader, it's like, if you're too strong, then you're a bitch.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But like, or if you speak your mind, or if you cry, then you're dramatic. Like, so, but so it's a balance. And when you can speak with truth and honesty, and hey, this is what I need, you're not speaking from the voice of victim. And that makes all the difference, because I know I was speaking from voice of victim earlier in my career, and that just brings in it's a magnet for the things that don't really serve you. It's good.
That is super powerful. I love that. I love that you had that awareness of like coming from victim versus of like empowerment. Yeah. And I'm sure that, it's a little bit of trial and error in a way. Yeah. So good.
It's life-changing.
Well, tell me, like, what's happening in your world of techies and wellness. For those who are local, like in the greater Seattle area, definitely check out Techies and Wellness. But you have upcoming retreats and events. So yeah, share more.
Yeah. Well, you can always find our upcoming events on our Facebook page, Techies and Wellness, and then also on techiesandwellness.com. What we have upcoming, we have a self-love event. I'm calling it the ultimate self-love experience, because we're going to have sound healing, we're going to have Reiki, we're going to have guided meditation, we're going to have massage.
What?
Yes, by my most favorite licensed massage therapist, Natalie. She used to give me pregnancy massage when I was pregnant with my firstborn. She's just the best and just amazing. So we're doing that, and we're also I like to infuse a little bit of a workshop, like a mindfulness exercise for people about self-love, so you're going to walk away with just loving yourself, knowing how to love yourself even after. And then we have so we're doing that twice. We're doing it at General Assembly, and we're also doing it at Think Space Seattle on Link Union. And that one is going to be on Valentine's Day, and that's the one where you can bring your Valentine, or you can come by yourself, and it's all about self-love. So it's not like you don't need a partner. And then we have the retreat that's coming up April 24th through the 26th. We're going to be doing Discovering Your Inner Essence, and we did this theme a few times already, and it's been really popular. And of course, each time they get better and better as we continue to learn and grow. And I always love to change things up. And so we have a really, really exciting schedule ahead for this experience. And that's going to be in Leavenworth. So we just opened up the application process for people to apply to the retreat, because we want to make sure that you're going to get value from it and that it's the right fit.
And it's usually like a small number, right? Like you limit it to more personable.
12 to 14 people. I like to keep this group small. It's very intentional.
Amazing. I'll share all of those in the show notes for people who are interested in learning more. And people have flown to to the retreats from out of state. So you don't have to be in Washington area to enjoy it.
That's so true. Yeah. Every event that we've had, every retreat that we've had, we've always had someone, actually a few people fly in. Yeah.
Yeah. So cool. Amazing. Thank you so much, Jamie, for your time and for sharing your story and your journey. You are just so incredible. I'm so grateful that our paths cross and that you're my friend and I get to call you a friend.
Me too, Michelle. Thank you so much for just giving me this platform to be able to share my story and be able to just, be a part of your amazing podcast. Like just all the people that you brought in and interviewed so far. I just feel very honored to be one of those. So thank you.
Thank you. And of course, my pleasure. All right, everybody. If this episode resonated with you, please share it. Tag us both on Instagram, so at Techies and Wellness, and at michellewong.xo. And then stay tuned for more. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Join our free private Facebook group community, Sacred Emergence, to receive more connection, guidance, and support. And take part in our 5-day Inner Confidence Challenge to not only boost your confidence, but to help activate your inner leadership. Details in the show notes. Thank you for listening to the Sacred Emergence podcast. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and thank you in advance for sharing this with others who can benefit. Until next time.